Alright guys, how's it going? Eastbayanglers out here. Today we're talking fishing, like always. Talking about, how to 5 different ways for you guys to go ahead and fish a blade bait. Now, I don't know if you're all familiar with blade baits, but they've been around forever. So anybody who says, I've got a new blade bait, it's the new hot ticket to, catching fish left and right. I don't think that bait necessarily exists, and if it does, I would say it's the core staple baits that have made it through. So let's talk about the Silver Buddy. To my knowledge, it's been patented and sold since the 1940s, probably used even prior to that, but we know since the 1940s that the Silver Buddy has been getting it done. Now that means, when the pork, when the hard baits hit the market, when plastics hit the market, when all these different innovative designs and techniques came out and more, in-depth everything, the Silver Buddy still caught fish. To this very day, there's a lot of people that imitate the Silver Buddy, a lot of companies, a lot of people that, make baits, and they make them because they work. So don't get too caught up on the brand name, but you're looking for that blade shaped fish. It is extremely effective in the cold water. Now, when we talk cold water, we're talking about fishing water temps, in the 30s, all the way up to potentially 42, which is when I don't generally use it anymore. And there's a couple of different ways you can go ahead and fish this bait at that time of year. Actually, there is another way I'll tell you in a little bit in the summer, but post spawn. But at this time of the year when the water's cold and the temperatures are cold, you're almost just lifting your rod up and lowering your rod. Now you're going to have different speeds. You're going to have different, maybe some different cadences. Maybe you're going to do it once. Maybe you're going to do it 2 times. Maybe you're going to do it 3 times. Maybe you're going to lightly jig it. Maybe you're going to jig it more aggressively. This is going to have a lot to do with the time of year. If you're fishing deep water, say summertime, and you're jigging it, it's very effective, And let's fast forward, we already know you can jig it a bunch of ways, different cadences and all that. But then, in fall, it works really well on the surface, gets a lot of those suspended fish, so you can slow retrieve it on top of the surface, you can burn it through, you can give it pauses, and I gotta tell you, it's something that just works. It catches fish. There's a reason that people use it at particular times of the year, and it still outproduces a lot of other, just about everything. So there are other times of the year where, you might prefer to use some of these fancy baits. Myself, I get addicted to it. You want to throw out something new, something really different, especially, who doesn't want to throw out top water and jerk baits and all that good stuff. So guys, we're talking today about blade baits. I want to get more in depth. Let's get more in depth. Let's do some detail. Let's talk about the size. What sizes do you want to focus on? And a lot of guys are going to talk to you about, well, you go bigger when you're fishing deeper. But in reality, that's not always the case. A lot of times, half the year, that is the case. When it's colder half of the year, when it's the warmer half of the year, that body of water is warmer, that's when it's completely false. So, when a body of water is warmer, that does not apply. The blade bait itself, I really like to stick around 1/8 ounce, 1/4 ounce. I don't really need to go any bigger. I have the feel down really well. Another thing you guys are going to have to get down is You know, each different size blade bait has a much different feel. So you might have the same rod, you know, you might be using different rods. I would recommend to find a rod and use that rod, get used to the way that blade bait feels. Um, it's hard generally, um, for a lot of people especially, to go from a 1/4 ounce to a 1 ounce blade bait and work that bait the same way. So a lot of that has to do with, you know, just basically the human nature and the way that we've been taught to fish the blade bait. It completely changes when you up the size that dramatic. You're gonna have to really change the way you're moving that blade bait. So what worked before with that 1/4 ounce, necessarily that motion's going to have to be altered. So I hope, you know, all this, guys, this helps, information and stuff like that, to get you on more fish, bigger fish. And stay tuned next time. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and break down some other things and try to help you guys understand how to fish more and just break down the entire world of fishing.